Nurses? What were the most haunting things someone said on their deathbed? Her name was Marjorie, but everyone in the ward called her Miss M. She'd been on our floor before, in and out for years with heart trouble. By the time she came in that final week, we all knew this was the last stretch. She knew too. There was a stillness in her that people have when they've accepted something the rest of us are still trying to fix. She was 83, thin, always wore her hair in a tight little bun even when bedridden, always asked for her lipstick before family visited. I was assigned to her on nights and I liked her immediately. She was polite, but not soft. She'd worked as a librarian for 40 years, raised 3 kids, buried 1. You could tell she'd survived more than she let on. On her 3rd night, she asked me if I believed people deserved peace. I said nothing at first, just checked her vitals, listened to her heart. When I finished, she reached out and took my hand. Her fingers were cold and bird-like. "I need to tell someone," she said. "Someone who won't tell me it's not my fault." I sat down. She talked. It started in 1968. Her youngest son, Danny, was 6. Her husband, James, had been drinking more. Always just enough to act mean, but not enough to be called drunk. She said she kept things quiet back then. Women were supposed to. She'd tried to shield the kids, especially Danny, who was delicate. That was her word, delicate. One night, her husband came home late. She was in the kitchen, and Danny had spilled something on the rug. James flew into a rage. Before Marjorie could stop him, he'd hit the boy hard enough to knock him into the table leg. There was blood. Danny cried for hours. The next day, he couldn't move his arm. She took him to the hospital and lied, told them he'd fallen. The doctor raised an eyebrow but didn't push. That was how it worked back then. Nobody interfered unless you forced them to. Danny's arm healed crooked. She told herself it would be the last time, but it wasn't. It didn't escalate, just chipped away. Yelling, slapping, threats, until Danny stopped bringing friends home, until he stopped talking much at all. When he turned 17, he ran away, left a note that just said, "Don't look for me." That was in 1979. She never saw him again. The other 2 kids stayed close. They visited often, but Danny became a ghost in the family photos. If anyone asked, she said he was traveling, that he liked to be free. It became a rehearsed lie. Now, lying in the hospital bed, she said she knew he was dead. "I think he died in the 90s, she said. "I don't have proof, just this knowing." She stared past me then, to something in the corner of the room I couldn't see. "He used to hum this little tune," she said. "I still hear it sometimes, in dreams. That's how I know he's not out there." She started crying quietly. I didn't speak. After a while, she said, "I let someone hurt my child. I stayed with a man who put bruises on my baby, and I just made excuses. I told myself it wasn't that bad. Then I buried the truth, and now I'm dying and he's already gone. I don't get to fix it." That was the last full conversation we had. She slipped into confusion the next day, didn't recognize the nurses or even her own daughter when she visited, but sometimes she hummed, just a soft little tune, the same one she'd said Danny used to hum. She passed 3 days later at 3:47 a.m. I was the one holding her hand. After we cleaned the room and prepared her body, I stepped out into the hallway. The light was blue from the emergency signs. The floor was silent. And I swear, I heard someone humming that same tune around the corner.